Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Friday Night Scripture Reading. We've been working our way through the book of Ezekiel. First, we'll read our catechism question of the week. Question 65. Is anyone able to keep the commandments of God perfectly? The answer? No mere human, since the fall, is able to keep the commandments of God perfectly in this life, but actually breaks them every day in thought, word, and action. Reminder, tomorrow morning at the Master's Church in Kingsport on Maple Street, we're having Deeply Rooted Equip. It'll be the 5 solas of the Protestant Reformation. We're starting at 9 a.m. Each session, one on each of the solas. Grace alone, faith alone, Christ alone, Scripture alone, the glory of God alone. 20-minute sessions, so we'll be out of there by noon. You should join us if you're physically able. Now, to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22. Then the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Now as for you, son of man, will you judge? Will you judge the city of blood? Then you shall cause her to know all her abominations. And you shall say, Thus says Lord Yahweh, a city shedding blood in her midst, so that her time will come, and she makes idols against herself for defilement. You have become guilty by the blood which you have shed, and defiled by your idols which you have made. Thus you have brought your day near, and have come to your years. Therefore I have made you a reproach to the nations, and a mocking to all the lands. Those who are near and those who are far from you will mock you, you of unclean name, full of turmoil. Behold, the princes of Israel, each according to his power, have been in you for the purpose of shedding blood. They have treated father and mother with contempt within you. The sojourner they have oppressed in your midst. The fatherless and the widow they have mistreated you. You have despised my holy things and profaned my Sabbaths. Slanderous men have been in you for the purpose of shedding blood, and in you they have eaten at the mountain shrines. In your midst they have done acts of lewdness. In you they have uncovered their father's nakedness. In you they have humbled her who was unclean in her menstrual impurity. One has also done what is an abomination with his neighbor's wife, and another has lewdly defiled his daughter-in-law, and another in you has violated his sister, his father's daughter. In you they have taken bribes for the purpose of shedding blood. You have taken interest in profits, and you have injured your neighbor for gain by oppression. And you have forgotten me, declares Lord Yahweh. Now behold, I have struck my hand at your greedy gain which you have acquired, and at the bloodshed which is among you. Can your heart stand, or can your hands be strong in the days that I will act against you? I, Yahweh, have spoken and will act. I will scatter you among the nations, and I will disperse you through the lands, and I will put an end to your uncleanness from you. You will profane yourself in the sight of the nations, and you will know that I am Yahweh. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel has become dross to me. All of them are bronze and tin and iron and lead in the furnace. They are the dross of silver. Therefore, thus says Lord Yahweh, because all of you have become dross, therefore, behold, I'm going to gather you into the midst of Jerusalem. And as they gather silver and bronze and iron and lead and tin into the furnace to blow fire on it in order to melt it, so I will gather you in my anger and in my wrath, and I will lay you there and melt you. And I will collect you together and blow on you with the fire of my fury, and you will be melted in the midst of it. As silver is melted in the furnace, so you will be melted in the midst of it. And you will know that I, Yahweh, have poured out my wrath on you. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, say to her, You are a land that is not cleansed or rained on in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in her midst, like a roaring lion tearing the prey. They have devoured lives, they have taken treasure and precious things, they have made many widows in the midst of her. Her priests have done violence to my law, and have profaned my holy things. They have made no separation between the holy and the profane. And they have not made known the difference between the unclean and the clean. And they hide their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them. Her princes within her are like wolves, tearing the prey by shedding blood and destroying lives in order to get greedy gain. And her prophets have smeared whitewash for them, beholding worthless visions and divining lies for them, saying, Thus says Lord Yahweh, when Yahweh has not spoken. The people of the land have practiced oppression and committed robbery, and they have mistreated the afflicted and needy, and have oppressed the sojourner without justice. And I searched for a man among them who would build up the wall and stand in the breach before me for the land, so that I would not bring it to ruin. But I found no one. Thus I have poured out my indignation on them. I have consumed them with the fire of my fury. Their way I have brought upon their heads, declares Lord Yahweh. Chapter 23 of Ezekiel. The word of Yahweh came to me again, saying, Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother, and they played the harlot in Egypt. They played the harlot in their youth. There their breasts were pressed, and there their virgin bosom was handled. Their names were Oholah, the elder, and Oholibah, her sister. And they became mine, and they bore sons and daughters. And as for their names, Samaria is Oholah, and Jerusalem is Oholibah. Oholah played the harlot while she was mine, and she lusted after her lovers, after the Assyrians, her neighbors, who were clothed in purple, governors and officials, all of them, desirable young men, horsemen riding on horses. She gave her harlotries to them, all of them, the choicest of men of Assyria. And with all whom she lusted after, with all their idols, she defiled herself. She did not forsake her harlotries from the time in Egypt, for in her youth men had lain with her, and they handled her virgin bosom and poured out their harlotry on her. Therefore I gave her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, after whom she lusted. They uncovered her nakedness, they took her sons and her daughters, but they killed her with the sword. Thus she became a despised name among women, and they executed judgments on her. Now her sister Oholibah saw this, yet she was more corrupt in her lust than she, and her harlotries were more than the harlotries of her sister. She lusted after the Assyrians, governors and officials, the ones near, magnificently dressed, horsemen riding on horses, all of them desirable choice men. And I saw that she had defiled herself. They both took the same way. So she increased her harlotries, and she saw men portrayed on the wall, images of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion, girded with belts on their loins, with flowing turbans on their heads, all of them looking like officers, in the likeness of the Babylonians in Chaldea, the land of their birth. And she saw them and lusted after them and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. So the Babylonians came to her bed, to the bed of love, and defiled her with their harlotry. Then she became defiled by them, and her soul became disgusted with them. And she uncovered her harlotries and uncovered her nakedness. Then my soul became disgusted with her, as my soul had become disgusted with her sister. Yet she multiplied her harlotries, remembering the days of her youth, when she played the harlot in the land of Egypt. She lusted after the paramours, whose flesh is like the flesh of donkeys, and whose issue is like the issue of horses. Thus you longed for the lewdness of your youth, when the Egyptians handled your bosom because of the breasts of your youth. Therefore, O Oholibah, thus says Lord Yahweh, Behold, I will arouse your lovers against you, those with whom your soul was disgusted, and I will bring them against you from every side, the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekod and Shoah and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them, desirable choice men, governors and officials, all of them, officers and men of renown, all of them riding on horses. They will come against you with weapons, chariots, and wagons, and with an assembly of peoples. They will set themselves against you on every side with a large shield and helmet. And I will give the judgment to them, and they will judge you according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against you, that they may deal with you in wrath. They will remove your nose and your ears, and your survivors will fall by the sword. They will take your sons and your daughters, and your survivors will be consumed by the fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take away your beautiful jewelry. Thus I will make your lewdness and your harlotry brought from the land of Egypt to cease from you, so that you will not lift up your eyes to them or remember Egypt any more. For thus says Lord Yahweh, behold, I will give you into the hand of those whom you hate, into the hand of those with whom your soul was disgusted. They will deal with you in hatred, take all the fruit of your labor, and leave you naked and bare. And the nakedness of your harlotries will be uncovered, both your lewdness and your harlotries. These things will be done to you, because you have played the harlot with the nations, because you have defiled yourself with the idols. You have walked in the way of your sister. Therefore I will give her cup into your hand. Thus says Lord Yahweh, you will drink your sister's cup, which is deep and wide. You will be laughed at and held in derision. It contains much. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow, the cup of horror and desolation, the cup of your sister Samaria. You will drink it and drain it. Then you will gnaw its fragments and tear your breasts. For I have spoken, declares Lord Yahweh. Therefore, thus says Lord Yahweh, because you have forgotten me and cast me behind your back, bear now the punishment of your lewdness and your harlotries. Moreover, Yahweh said to me, Son of man, will you judge Oholah and Oholabah? Then declare to them their abominations. For they have committed adultery, and blood is on their hands. Thus they have committed adultery with their idols, and even caused their sons, whom they bore to me, to pass through the fire to them as food. Again, they have done this to me. They have defiled my sanctuary on the same day, and have profaned my Sabbaths. For when they had slaughtered their children for their idols, they entered my sanctuary on the same day to profane it. And behold, thus they did within my house. Furthermore, they have even sent for men who come from afar, to whom a messenger was sent, and behold, they came, for whom you bathed, painted your eyes, and decorated yourselves with ornaments. And you sat on a splendid couch with a table arranged before it, on which you had set my incense and my oil. The sound of a multitude at ease was with her, and drunkards were brought from the wilderness with men of the common sort. And they put bracelets on the hands of the women and beautiful crowns on their heads. Then I said concerning her who was worn out by adulteries, will they now commit harlotry with her when she is thus? But they went in to her as they would go into a harlot. Thus they went into Oholah and Oholabah, the lewd women. But they, righteous men, will judge them with the judgment of adulteresses, and with the judgment of women who shed blood, because they are adulteresses, and blood is on their hands. For thus says Lord Yahweh, bring up an assembly against them, and give them over to terror and plunder. The assembly will stone them with stones, and cut them down with the sword. They will kill their sons and their daughters, and burn their houses with fire. Thus I will make lewdness cease from the land, that all women may be chastised, and not commit lewdness as you have done. Your lewdness will be required upon you, and you will bear the sin of worshiping your idols. Thus you will know that I am Lord Yahweh. And while the dog's not barking, I think we'll just stop right there. Y'all have a great weekend. If the Lord wills it, we'll see you tomorrow morning at the Master's Church in Kingsport. If not, we'll see you Sunday school, 10 a.m., Bass Chapel, corporate worship at 11 a.m., evening worship at 6 p.m. Y'all have a great weekend. Goodbye.